We are the Lab Doctors. I'm Amanda.
I'm Dorothy.
And I'm Zhao Yong.
We are biomedical researchers who realized we still have a lot to learn about science.
So why not join us on this quest?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Lab Doctors. So this week, Dorothy has a question for everyone, which she's gonna answer. So the question is, how do blisters form?
Okay. I wanted to take a break from Science Daily. And coincidentally, I had blisters like 2-3 weeks ago. So this question popped in my head because like people always ask, what's that liquid in the blister and can we pop a blister?
Right.
Wait, like shoe blisters or...
That's the most common type,
like-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most common one. So good question. I'm going to answer that. So yes, in general, blisters are formed when your skin is damaged. So your skin has 3 layers: the epidermis, the outermost layer,
Right.
the dermis, and then there's the subcutaneous fat, which is below the skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a blister is formed just under the epidermis, and the fluid, which is usually serum, which is a clear liquid,
Right.
will enter that part.
Yeah.
So serum, for those who don't know, is like the clear part of the blood. Like if you take a human blood or anybody's blood, spin it down, centrifuge it down, you'll have the clear part at the top, which is called the serum.
Yeah, the part without red blood cells, right?
Yeah, correct. So the clear liquid is our serum. So I'm just going to list like 3 types of blisters. So the first one is friction blisters, which
Right.
is the one we most commonly heard of, and the one I'm going to talk about, which is the shoe blisters. This is caused by friction, which is when something is rubbed against your skin repeatedly. And in this case, what happens is the shear stress of the layers of the skin will create microscopic tears. So if you, I don't know, like I wanted to do an experiment. Like let's say you put 2 pieces of paper together and then you rub it against, like you use your hands to rub it. Your hand would shift with the paper, correct? But the papers would rub against each other. And I guess the papers would be like your epidermis and the dermis.
Oh, yes. As in, I'm doing it right now.
With tissue paper. So that would create this thing called microscopic tears. And if the tears become bigger and bigger, then it would form a cleft or an opening.
Right.
And then fluid will start to fill.
Right.
Next, we have blood blisters. So this one I've never really seen before in my life. But basically, if something pinches against your skin or you have an injury, instead of clear serum, blood from the broken blood vessels will fill the area.
Right. Yeah, I have that before.
Oh, you had that
Really?
before?
Yeah. I thought it was just internal bleeding, so I always burst it. I didn't know it was considered a blister. I thought it's like, a wound that just didn't break the skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I
How do you
think
get
I've
it?
gotten that before then as well. Is
Yeah.
that a blood
Really?
blister?
Yeah. I'm googling an image of a blood blister. Yeah. That's exactly it.
Oh yeah, okay. I when you said internal bleeding, I knew exactly what you were talking about, and yeah, I've gotten a blood blister before. Actually, it's quite common, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe
Like
not
if
as
you-
common as the friction blisters, but
Yeah. Especially when
How do you get it?
Like you clamp any part of your skin against something.
like if you accidentally close the car door on your finger, I
Yes,
think
yes,
that's
yes.
what I
Sometimes
remember.
you can get that. Or like
But I
close the
think
door.
like a circular circle thing.
Yes, it's circular.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've gotten.
I think the clam one. Oh my goodness, you're
the
triggering
clamp
so
one.
many memories.
Yeah, or like let's say you are trying to close a jar and then you like maybe do it too fast and then you clamp your fingers between the
Yeah.
lid and the jar.
Yeah, and then it doesn't pierce the skin.
Yeah, it doesn't break the skin.
Yeah.
The epidermis, I suppose.
I feel like I definitely did all those things before, but I don't remember it being like a bubble like a blister.
Yeah, it's definitely a bubble and then I will have the urge to like burst it.
I'm scared all the blood will explode out of it. That's why I've never burst it before.
I will use like a fingernail clipper to just cut a small hole and then
When it's fresh.
drain it. Yeah, because I thought it's just, internal bleeding without the skin breaking out. Then it's like, just let it out lah. I don't know. Is that okay?
Okay, we'll come to that later.
Okay.
On what we should do with blisters. And the last one is heat blisters, HEAT. So these are from burns, sunburns, or frostbites. And all these blisters are called second-degree burns. So I'm going to go into this a bit because I thought it was quite interesting to know like why if you are exposed to the sun, like it just doesn't make sense like to have bubbles forming in your skin. But basically, so second-degree burns are those where other than the epidermis, which is completely destroyed, the dermis is also affected. So the damage is quite bad and it goes underneath the topmost layer of your skin.
Okay.
So here, the liquid in the blisters come because there is increase in capillary permeability to allow for edema formation between the epidermis and the dermis. Okay, a bit cheap.
Right.
So basically, the small blood vessels, which are like your capillaries, become more leaky.
Yep.
That means serum from the blood can actually seep out of your blood vessels and accumulate in between the layers of the skin.
Yep.
So for burns, this kind of thing, like studies are still being done to determine which methods are the best for treating this kind of burn, blisters and stuff like that. But there is evidence that the blisters aid in wound healing and therefore you shouldn't like burst blisters in general.
Right.
So why? Because all the serum, right, like it's from your blood and your blood has a lot of growth factors, antioxidants, and it helps to improve circulation to the damaged area. And also there is this thing called neovascularization, which I won't go into, but basically if you are more interested in how second degree burn blisters heal, you can check out the paper which we'll put in the description link.
Neovascularization is like what? The growth of new blood vessels, right?
Yeah, so like they're saying that those like serum might have certain like factors inside that may promote new blood vessels to form, may promote new skin formation, stuff like that. So it's actually good because and it protects the wound itself.
Yep.
Okay, so other than friction, there are other causes of blisters, and this is quite new to me. So the common ones we know are irritation from physical factors and also cold and heat. But one other irritation could be from chemicals. So I guess if you pour like hydrochloric acid on your skin, I'm guessing you will get some form of blister.
You mean like
depends on the
concentration, right?
Concentration.
Yeah.
I guess it depends how concentrated the acid is, you know, like if it's super concentrated, it will just melt your
Burn
skin
it,
away.
yeah.
But if it's not super concentrated, then it might cause this blister.
Yeah. Probably. It's like a chemical burn, I think.
Yeah. So it's a burn as well.
So another cause of blisters would be allergies. So if you have this condition called allergic contact dermatitis, it's like basically if you touch something and then you can also get blisters. Also, there can be infections from bacteria or viruses causing blisters. So these are like, if you heard of chickenpox, shingles, and herpes simplex virus, these are infections that would cause blisters.
I don't know why I said yup so quickly at herpes. I don't have herpes, but yup.
I had shingles. Oh wait, y'all didn't get chickenpox, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, Zhao Yong got it. Dorothy didn't get?
I didn't get.
Yeah,
I had the chickenpox vaccine.
Right.
Do you get blisters from your shingles?
No, because
I thought it's just a rash or something.
Because I figured it was shingles very, very early on. Like, I suspected it was shingles before I got the rash. And then once I saw the rash, I straight away went to the doctor and got the antivirals. So, yeah, my rash didn't really fully form, if that makes sense. So I didn't get blisters from that.
Yeah, that's good. Oh my gosh, if not, I think it would be very painful.
Yeah. So I'm thinking...
It was already pain.
Yeah, because shingles, I think the pain was mostly like nerve pain, which is sharp pain, which was horrible. So don't stress.
Also, skin diseases, and these can be inherited. Some skin diseases, like if you're exposed to the sun, you can get blisters, which I don't know. I think it's like feels kind of sad. And also like pressure or trauma blisters, and also certain medications that can cause mild blisters or increase the sensitivity of the skin to sunlight, which can cause sunburn kind of blisters.
Okay, I guess now we know kind of what causes the blisters and the types of blisters. I guess the next question is, should I pop the blister if I see it?
Nope.
Yeah, I feel like this is a pimple. Every time we ask, should I pop or should I scratch, it's like always a no.
Yeah.
Okay, but why shouldn't I?
Yeah, so the answer is ideally no, because like what we mentioned just now, right, the blister is in a sterile environment. So especially if the skin is still intact and everything, the liquid will still be held inside. It's still sterile and clean.
Right. Yeah.
And so this eliminates the risk of infection from bacteria.
Right.
And if you see like any milky white kind of coloring, that means it's infected with bacteria.
Yeah.
So in that case, you should see a doctor. And also like, because the liquid is from the serum in your body, right? So these have like certain factors that will help you to recover, help your skin to recover. And eventually this serum will be reabsorbed back into the body as your blister heals and new skin grows. So blisters take about 7 to 10 days to heal and usually leave no scar, and you should just cover it with a plaster when it's recovering.
Yeah.
And I find it quite like interesting because as my blister was healing, like after I think 2 days or so, it's just not there anymore. I mean, it's just like it's like dead skin.
Yeah, like the bump disappears. It's like the liquid just went somewhere.
Yeah.
Went back into your body.
Yeah, I mean, essentially that's where it went. But like, it would look like it evaporated or something. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. So it's actually quite comfortable after that because it's like, it's just dead skin and then you don't really feel it anymore. And then like, if you don't peel it off, it'll just, just fall off over time. Or like with friction, it will just
Rub off.
be scraped off. And then it's recovered already. So yeah, you actually don't need to pop a blister unless the blister is too huge or it's inconveniencing your life or it's too painful to manage. I mean, like, let's say you have the blister on the bottom of your foot, then you can't even walk.
That sounds painful.
That would be like...
Yeah, because every time you step on it, it will hurt. And then it would maybe make it worse as well. Yeah, that sounds...
Yeah.
But okay, so my question is, if you pop that, wouldn't you cause a scar and make it hurt as well?
I don't know if it will cause a scar. I don't think so. I mean, it's just like any other like minor skin injury, right? It's more of like if you pop a blister, make sure you do it the correct way. So, so if you pop a blister, ideally you want to drain the fluid while leaving the overlying skin intact.
Yes.
And this will help you to make sure like it's still as sterile as possible.
Yeah.
So if you go and search online how to take care of your blisters, then you will see that there are step-by-step instructions on how you should pop your blisters so that you minimize the risk of infection, including wash your hands before you even touch the blister. Then you can swap the blister with iodine or certain
bacterials, antiseptics.
Yeah. Alcohol, I don't know. And if you want to use a needle, or don't be like Zhao and using the nail clipper. Like nail clippers are damn gross. You should use like a clean, sharp needle that you sterilize with like alcohol or I don't know if you...
I mean, I'm not gross. I sterilized the nail clipper with fire before that. Yeah. Why is it very shocking? I don't know.
The stove? So you just hold the nail clipper at the stove?
Yeah, or lighter.
Isn't it
or
hot?
match. Yeah, like you wait for it to cool down, Then,
Oh, yeah,
then...
but
No, but like when you're holding it.
No, you
Isn't
don't...
the entire nail clipper hot?
Yeah, but you don't hold it there for long. You like burn it, like, and then stop, and then you burn it, and then you stop, and then you burn it, and then you stop. It doesn't happen often, okay? It's not troublesome.
I guess I'll take your word for it.
I guess if you didn't get an infection means you did it right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So just make sure whatever tool you use is like clean and then you burst it, let the fluid drain. Then you apply like an ointment or just cover it with some bandage and just make sure you check it every day and it's not like getting infected and stuff like that.
Right.
And yeah, if you ever get it infected, there should be like pus, which is like those things that the bacteria...
Yeah,
What's pus?
when white blood cells, when they kill the bacteria and then they themselves die, they will form pus.
Yeah.
Or like if it's hot and painful around the blister or you see red streaks around the blister, this means that the blister is like infected and you should see a doctor. Or if your blister is not even recovering after like many days.
Right.
That's all, folks.
I guess my main question at the end of the day is like, how much friction does it then decide I'm gonna form a blister,
Does it matter the material as well?
Yeah, because like I have disgusting ass calluses at the bottom of my feet because I walk weird.
Oh, I have also.
Yeah. But then how come those don't form like those aren't blisters? Those are just thickened skin, Yeah.
Is it cause like... No, but I've never gotten blisters there as well before all these
same.
calluses formed.
Yeah. So
Maybe like the calluses are just like outside abrasion and then they just form on top of each other.
Yeah.
Compared to like you're rubbing your 2 layers of skin together.
Right. Yeah, like I was thinking maybe the force is just not enough to trigger that kind of separation or the micro tears, So it's just triggering it to grow thicker rather than repair, I guess, because it broke completely. Yeah.
I guess the takeaway is that there's many types of blisters and there's actually multiple causes besides the shoe blisters that we can think about.
Right.
And you shouldn't pop your blister, but if you do, make sure you're clean and you're clean about it in terms of tools and aftercare. And if it gets infected or if there's pus and if it gets too painful with red streaks, then you should consult a doctor.
Yeah, and as usual, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Spotify. A like and a comment would really help us out.
You can also follow us on our social media, Instagram, Twitter or Facebook, and feel free to DM us any questions.
Alternatively, you can email us at thelabdoctors@gmail.com. We'll link all the articles that we've talked about in the episode description, so do check that out. Thanks.
Bye.